In this video, we're going to learn how to write and graph inequalities. So we're going to start with a brief review. In 6th grade, you learned about the inequality symbols and how to graph them on a number line. Let's review that now. So remember, this is notes. So there's 4 different types. We'll start with x is less than 3, and we're also going to write it out in words. X is less than 3. On a number line, so draw a number line with me. Since it's less than 3, we're going to have an arrow going down. And since it doesn't include 3, 3 is not a possibility. It could be 2, it could be 1, it could be 2.99999, but it could not be 3. We're going to do an open dot at 3, make sure it's nice and big so I can tell it's not closed. And then you're going to shade in going down with the arrow going down. Next we'll do x is less than or equal to 3. Notice the difference is that there's a second bar underneath inequality so that it looks more like an equal sign. So make sure to write it on words. X is less than or equal to 3. And then also put it on a number line. This time, since 3 is a possibility, we're going to do a closed dot on 3. But our arrow and our shading is still going to go down. Like so. Okay, now we're going to go x is greater than 3. And once again on a number line. This time we're going to have an open dot because 3 is not a possibility, but anything bigger than 3 is, like 3.1, 4, 200. We're going to do an arrow going up, indicating that. And finally, we'll do x is greater than or equal to 3. The only difference here being that the dot is going to be shaded in rather than left open. Now, it's important to note, so we're going to go back into our table and we're going to add in that there's an alternate way to write each of these. So x is less than 3. That's the same thing as saying that 3 is greater than or equal to x. It looks the same on the graph. You would just say it the other way around. So all of these can be written reversed. You just have to reverse the inequality symbol as well. So 3 is greater than or equal to x. 3 is less than x. 3 is less than or equal to x. That means the same thing. Make sure that you have both ways of writing the inequalities written down. All right, so let's do some examples. So we're going to write an inequality and then graph it on a number line. See if you can do it for the first one now. It rained more than 3 inches yesterday. Pick a variable, write the inequality, graph it. All right, so I'm going to use R for inches of rain. And since it rained more than 3 inches yesterday, then the inches of rain is more than 3. On a number line, I could have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have more than 3 inches, so I'm going to do an open dot at 3 and an arrow going up, like so. So this is what you should have learned how to do last year. I know you guys didn't spend a ton of time on it, but hopefully it doesn't look completely brand new. Next, we're going to do the new stuff. So now we're going to be writing inequalities that also have some steps going on. So for example, just like what we've been working on, the sum of x and 5 is less than or equal to 8. So we can write that as an inequality. So the sum of x and 5, that's x plus 5, and it's less than or equal to 8. So that's an inequality. We're going to learn how to solve those later this week, but not in this video. Right now we're just going to worry about writing them. Why don't you give number 2 a try, or example 3 a try, I should say. So first I need to assign some variables here. So I'm going to say that my brother is B and I am going to be M. And I have at least twice as many chores as my brother. So twice as much as my brother. So my brother times 2. And I sort of want to say that's equal to me, but it's not, because I need to be more than that. And I need to be more than or equal to that. So another way to say that is that my chores are greater than or equal to my brother's chores times 2. Or my brother's chores times 2 are less than or equal to my chores. If you're having trouble figuring out which direction to point the inequality, always remember that it needs to point to the smaller number. So if you have a smaller number and then a bigger number, the bigger side is going to have the bigger opening, the smaller side is going to have the smaller opening, sort of like a crescendo in music. It gets bigger the bigger the opening is, the smaller side is the smaller side. All right, now let's do the practice set. So on this one, the first 2 are review from last year. I'm asking you to practice your graphing. On the second 2, I'm asking you to try and write one of our new type of inequalities.